A really big episode about body image last night on Parental Guidance. It was episode 3 of season 3. If you missed it, you can catch up on the 9 Now app. Really compelling, really heavy, really important conversations. We're going to unpack it all this week on the Happy Families podcast. Hello, my name is Dr. Justin Coulson. I'm here with my wife, Mrs. Happy Families, Kylie. Kylie, we were introduced to 4 new focus families.
Let's run through our parenting styles. Elvie and Sean.
We are authoritative parents.
We have high expectations on our children. In the meantime, we set strict rules and boundaries.
Say cheese! Cheese! Thanks, Mom!
As authoritative parents, we don't really give our children too much choice. We want them to be academically successful, to get into a good profession.
So you're basically setting the goal high for them, so they can work towards it.
Yes, we set rules. We have high expectations. However, the most important thing, in our view, is their health and happiness.
Nick and Sophia.
We're the positivity parents where confidence is key.
Hey, bestie!
As positivity parents, we build up our children's self-esteem every single day by doing positive affirmations. I can't hear you, you've got to say it loud.
I am unstoppable.
Yes, you
I
are.
am exceptional.
You are.
We've been blessed in the fact that Sophia is able to work from home as a content creator, and she's incorporated our children within that sphere.
1, 2.
Hey, bestie. 1, 2.
We do teach our children to have a healthy lifestyle.
Beautiful.
They love being physical.
And Amanda and Hassan.
We choose to parent the hard way. We don't take shortcuts. It's hard on us, but easy and fun for the kids.
Everyone say cheese!
Say cheese! Yeah! As hardware parents, there's no easy way out. We don't leave anyone behind. We all go do things together. Oh, yes!
When it comes to food, we don't allow junk. We try to make everything from scratch. We actually choose to parent our children. We model good behaviour when it comes to body image. You can put kids down really quickly with your words. When they feel that we're happy and proud of them, they feel proud of themselves.
Josh and Cassie.
We are the life school parents and we use real life experiences to educate our kids.
Smile.
As a family of 7, we live in our truck and caravan travelling around Australia.
We've been travelling for like 3 years. They haven't been to school for 4 years. We just choose life schooling is a better way to learn.
What we are doing is a variant of homeschooling, taking it out of the classroom and into the real world.
Oh, I think you got further than Spencer. And are we going against the norm? 100% we are.
100% we're going against the norm.
But kids are healthy. Anyone could see that.
Yeah.
Well done, Jasper.
So before we talk about the big topic of body image, we do need to talk briefly about the introductions to these families. Josh and Cassie, our life school parents, they caused a bit of a ruckus in the room.
Tests and school curriculums are not important.
No, they're not important.
They're outdated.
Yeah.
But there is certain things they'll learn in the classroom from like someone that's been to university and done the curriculum that you can't possibly teach them.
I will just push back a little bit on that, because what can the educational system teach that we don't have the tools to teach our children? You know, with technology like YouTube and things, I have tools and resources I can lean on. So I am fully confident that if their pursuit and their desire was to become a doctor, they're going to go pursue that.
Kylie, Josh and Cassie are doing they call it a form of homeschooling. They call it life schooling. We're homeschooling a couple of our kids, or we have at least, and we're still homeschooling one of them at the moment. What did you think about that conversation and this idea that school is not for every child?
I 100% agree with that. I think for so long we fought to keep our kids in school based on this idea and notion that it's a societal expectation that our kids will be there. And it was just hurting them.
So I would say that our recent experiences over the last 2, now we've only got one at home now, but we had 2. I would say that our experiences with homeschooling continue to be overwhelmingly positive.
Challenging, but positive.
And what do you think about I mean, there were a couple of teachers in the room, but there was certainly some pushback, mainly from the hard way parents who were like, no, you can only learn some things at school.
So I don't believe that at all, but I also don't believe that any parent can be everything to their child.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And so if homeschooling is your choice, then ensuring that your children are supported with the right structures in place for them to receive the necessary things of maths and English.
Right. Reading, writing, arithmetic. Yep.
Is imperative.
So I know that I don't want to get bogged too much into the life school parenting, homeschool parenting situation, because we're going to learn more about Josh and Cassie as we go throughout the week. But I do just want to highlight, there was one question that was asked.
How do your kids feel about not going to school? Like, have they came and told you want to go to school? How would you handle it?
We check in with them regularly and we're like, do you guys want to go to school? And they're like, no.
So, Kylie, I don't very often hear kids say, Mum, can I please go to school?
I was going to say exactly the same thing.
It's always the opposite. I don't want to go to school. And I wish Josh had picked that up. I so badly wanted to say it in the room, but obviously not my job to do that. All right, let's fire up challenge number 1. The first challenge was to stand in front of the mirror, mum, with kids, and talk about their body image. That is, how do kids see themselves?
What do you like about your body, Lemise?
I like my eyes and my hair.
What don't you like about your body?
My nose.
Your nose? Why?
And
We live in a world where having fillers and Botox and plastic surgery is, the norm these days. And I want our children to know that they don't have to change the way they look to be beautiful.
How you feel about your body image?
I like my hair and my teeth. I have bunions because I do ballet. I have acne, which is kind of sad.
I want to be taller. I honestly think you look pretty good for your age.
So I just wrote a note here about the boys. They saw their abilities and what their bodies can do, whereas girls see their physical features.
I noticed that a bit, yeah.
Amanda, you talked there about girls and fillers and Botox.
I don't want them to feel pressure that they have to fix up the way their face looks just because, other people are doing that.
I get Botox and I don't see a problem with it. It's nothing that crazy, and I don't think there should be such a stigma around it. And by me getting Botox, I don't feel like it's teaching my daughters that they need to get, they don't know that I've had it done.
I've never done anything to my face or body, and I don't dye my hair. I just believe that if I want my children to believe that they are perfect the way they are, which I believe they are, then I need to reflect that in my behaviour. If I don't focus on my wrinkles or my age or my weight, then my kids won't either.
I was actually really impressed as each of these kids were able to stand in front of the mirror and, for the most part, acknowledge that they loved their bodies.
Yeah, wasn't that nice?
It really was. The standout to me, though, was the acknowledgement for boys. They focused on what their bodies could do. The girls, however, focused on their looks.
Yeah, there was a bit of crossover, but that was the main message that I got as well.
Yeah.
Social conditioning plays a really big part in this, and we really do focus on boys and what they can do. We focus on function, not form. Whereas with girls, we focus on form, not function. That's what society does. That's how we've been for decades, centuries probably.
Well, even the positivity daughter, she talked about having a six-pack, for instance, right?
Yep. Tell Mummy what you like about your body.
That I'm healthy.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Long hair. Six-pack.
Yeah, you do have a six-pack.
So that would be generally something you'd hear from a boy, but she still didn't focus on what that six-pack allowed her to do.
I can do push-ups and I can do gymnastics.
It was still very much a focus on her physicality.
So generally speaking, it was a good news story. Most of the kids were reasonably happy with how they look. You'll note that they were a fairly young cohort as a general rule. We're not looking at older kids, teenagers as a general rule.
And I was about to say that, just the acknowledgement when you're dealing with kids under about 10, generally speaking, you're going to have that happy news story.
All right, here's the challenging conversation. I don't know if I want to go here or not, but we're going to do it anyway. The discussion devolved. It went on a tangent here.
Mothers that want to get Botox, I think they possibly need a psychologist to see if it's in the danger zones or healthy zones or whatever.
So, Botox, fillers, there were some pretty strong opinions in the room. We've got our hardware parents who was just saying, no way, Jose, and our traditional parents who are also saying, I've got to be okay with who I am and how I'm aging and what I look like as a middle-aged mum, as opposed to trying to maintain the fountain of youth. And then you've got other parents who are like, yeah, I'm actually pretty cool with it.
There was definitely some divide with Mark and Tammy having very different viewpoints on what they thought was appropriate.
I've had Botox before. I don't think it's bad to role model Botox and fillers as a parent, is it? Do you?
Yeah, crickets from Mark on that one. I
think he might have been feeling a bit like you. This is not a debate I want to weigh in on.
Yeah, how do I answer this question? So I'm not actually going to come in hard with an opinion on this, but I want to share a little bit of evidence and a general, I guess, recognition of a challenge here. Let me start with the evidence. Now, this is not an area that I've researched, so I'm just quoting a book now that's probably 10 or 15 years old. I'm quoting Jonathan Haidt, who everyone knows today as the author of The Anxious Generation, but quite some time ago he wrote, his first book was called The Happiness Hypothesis. In my mind, probably one of the best, if not the best book about well-being ever written. I love that book. And in that book, he highlights this, participating in plastic surgery, having enhancements, quote unquote, to your appearance is not associated with increases in well-being. There is a relationship between plastic surgery and low levels of well-being, depression, anxiety, and other difficulties, with one exception, and that's breast augmentation. So, I mean, you can come up with some hypotheses as to why that might be the case. I'm not going to jump in with anything you might want to.
I would say that for the masses of women who go through this process, the majority of them are actually enhancing something that they feel they lack.
And that's what he says in the book. I'm not sure that I want to go there, but he basically says it's a self-esteem boost for women who feel like they don't feel feminine based on their current situation.
Yeah.
And so it's a self-esteem booster and it is associated with positive well-being outcomes. But all the other plastic surgeries, his research indicate it's a downer. It brings well-being down. The main point that I want to draw out here, though, is that there is a tension. And I think that it was exemplified in the conversation in the episode last night. The tension is we want to look, and mums specifically want to look their best and be healthy and feel good about themselves. And the tension exists where if you're going to use external or surgical processes to do that, is that not hypocritical? Like, where's the tension between trying to look your best and actually still accepting that you look the way that you do, that you're aging or that your body's changing?
I think for me, I'm not hardcore either way either, but when I look at the damage that social media specifically is doing, we think about all of the filters that are in place for our teenage girls specifically, so that they feel comfortable in being able to post a photo of themselves. And then they're watching mum who's 40 and then she's 50 and she's getting older, but she's not displaying the usual signs of age. Are we not then emphasizing that in order to be accepted as beautiful and feminine
and ideal,
that we can't age with grace? I've thought about all the things many times.
Yeah.
And we've actually even had conversations around it. But ultimately it comes down to the fact that I actually love my body. I love what it allows me to do. And I want my children to recognize and know that whatever they focus on their external, to the extent that they're willing to modify it in any way, shape or form, I think we lose a part of ourselves. We literally give away so much of who we are in an effort for what?
Yeah, it's a tricky one. There's certainly some tension in the room, and this idea of making sure that we can feel good about ourselves, but where do we draw the line is a vexed one. Another big topic that we've got to talk about, just body image generally. We're going to cover off what to say to your kids about having a healthy body image after the break. So, Kylie, this might be a little bit ego-driven, but I'm going to play audio of me here because I think I said something really important on the TV show that we need to listen to.
A World Health Organization study found that what predicted who was going to have body image issues was not body size, but gender. Plastic surgery, GLP-1 drugs, the people who take advantage of them, more than 80% of them are female. We have a different conversation around bodies for men and boys compared to girls and women.
Okay, so this kind of extends on the discussion we had around Botox and GLP-1 drugs and that kind of stuff in the first part of the podcast. There is definitely a challenge here when it comes to how we feel about our bodies, and it is primarily a female issue, not a male issue, although it's increasingly becoming male because I think social media has amplified and exacerbated it. What I'd like to do as we wrap up today's podcast is share 5 ideas that can help parents who are trying to manage these conversations with their kids. And I know that you've got stuff to say about these things because we talk about them all the time in our home, in our family. My first way to reduce body image challenges ties directly in with what you said a few minutes ago, and that is we've got to reduce screens. The more kids are involved with screens, the more they're going to be exposed to stuff that just makes them feel lousy. We shared in the show last night some headlines from different articles and different research papers showing that the more time people spend online, particularly on social media, the more time they spend looking at ideal bodies, the worse they feel about their own bodies. Reducing time on social media has got to be an element of this.
A little bit of a side note, but I think it fits in beautifully. I used to love taking photos.
Right.
And once I started engaging...
Do you mean of you or just photos generally?
No, just photos generally.
Uh-huh.
And once I started engaging on social media, I followed a handful of friends and family who were actually photographers by trade, and all of their posts were picture perfect. And it actually stopped me from wanting to post and wanting to actually even take photos, because every time I would take a photo, I would look at it and I would look at it through the lens of it doesn't look anything like that, or it doesn't do this moment justice. And if I'm doing that just purely on a photograph, think about our girls specifically who are watching other people post these picture perfect moments in time of themselves, which are probably all filtered up, and then judging their appearance based on a fictitious model.
So there are 2 things that I need to pick up on here. Number one, you said picture perfect. I called the chapter in my book Misconnection, I called that pixel perfect.
Yeah.
Because that's what the goal is. And that ties in directly with the second point that I want to make, and that is that we need to forget about teaching our kids about media literacy. What do I mean by that? You can talk to your kids about filters. You can talk to them about...
well, they know it. They're living it.
About
they know
Photoshop
exactly
and
what it
Lightroom.
looks like.
They know exactly how it works, and it doesn't stop them being aspiring for that look. And so what our conversations need to be more about is, rather than being all about being pixel perfect and the hair and the makeup and the lighting and the filters and all those kinds of things, the conversations need to be about the 3 final points that I want to emphasize. Number 1, focus on what you can do, not how you look. Number 2, avoid diets and other things that are designed to be all about externalities. Like, have good health habits, but don't go on some diet so that you can lose X number of kilos in such and such an amount of time. That only amplifies and exacerbates the focus on appearance. And number 3, we as parents have got to be models. We've got to be good examples of how we approach our physical appearance and our attitude towards it, which probably goes back to our conversation in the first part of the podcast. What are we modeling? And what does that say about how we feel about ourselves and how we look?
Can we just take a minute to talk about Sophia's experience in front of the mirror with her daughter?
I so badly want to do that. We need to do it tomorrow. We're out of time. And I think that it deserves a real conversation. It ties in so well with all the things we're talking about right now. We'll hit that tomorrow on the podcast, as well as a conversation about the second challenge in last night's episode. We really hope that you're enjoying our recaps of the Parental Guidance Season 3 episodes. Tomorrow, more on body image. Can't wait to share it with you. Thanks for spending your time with us. We really hope that you're getting a lot out of it. If you are, can you share the podcast with your friends? A couple of buttons. You can click them and flick it through. I reckon if it makes your family happier, it will make their families happier as well. The Happy Families podcast is produced by Justin Coulson from Bridge Media. Craig Bruce is our executive producer. Mim Hammonds provides research and other support. More information and more resources to make your family happier, you can find at happyfamilies.com.au.